何があった？
Hey everyone, this is the Geeky Panda here on the Geeky Panda blog, running guys with another video. This time I'm going to be talking about the Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, their controller announcement, as well as the bundle packages and all that stuff. I know E3 has came and went, but the reaction when Nintendo got up there stated, yes, this is what to expect with the next Smash Bros. But hey, I know a lot of you guys still loved using the GameCube controller back in Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is arguably the best one out of the entire series. But Nintendo's like, you know what? We're going to throw you a bone here and give you the adapter so you can still use your GameCube controllers for the new one, which is arguably the best controller to use anyways for Super Smash Bros. So overall, this is a win-win scenario for everyone. And I do mean everyone, including the veterans of the series to newbies, because it's like, hey, do you like, hey, here is the Wii U Pro controller that's, which is a pretty good controller for the system. I'm not gonna lie. I played with it in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and it worked out perfect for me, and it has some, it has some of the best battery lifetimes ever. Of course, you can also use, you got your gamepad, and then you can also use probably your Wii remote controller, as we did with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but the GameCube controller will definitely help us out with this, and this is actually making me go out and buy a GameCube again because I miss playing on the GameCube, and the controller was just perfect for it. So I got to start buying up controllers. And for those of you who kept your controllers without trading them in or selling them, good for you, because now you can reuse them again. So let's discuss the options here. Now, Nintendo has announced that they're going to be selling the game itself, the adapter, the controller, or all in one bundle. As far as we know, the game is $60 in US, of course. But the interesting thing is that they are going to be selling the GameCube controller with the branded Super Smash Brothers logo on it. So these will come at $30, which is overall it's not that bad. It's almost, I think it's almost a similar price we paid for. But the most important thing is the adapter, which looks like to be plugged in via the Wii U's front USB ports, is going to be $20. Personally, that's pretty good. Which Nintendo's has always been pretty good. But of course, above all else, you can get it all for $99.99, or just basically $100. I mean, you got to do with the whole taxes and stuff. But yes, the bundled edition is basically like $100, but you get the game, the controller, and an adapter. So basically, you are all set, ready to go if you want to. Now, as far as that goes, you obviously got people, gonna want to pre-order this, they're gonna be all over this like a fat kid on a cupcake. And no offense to fat kids. So what is the best recommendation? Well, I went over to GameStop, and I suggest, if you are indeed planning to get Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, I would suggest I not only recommend, it is a demand that both fans and newbies alike, I recommend reserving it. Especially reserving the bundle and the adapter, because those two things by itself is going to be an extreme high demand and the first get-go. Because everyone's going to be like, oh god, we got to get this, we got to get this, we got to get this. So to ensure that you want to do this, I highly recommend doing it, because there's going to be such a huge demand for it. I can already see it happening. The good thing is GameStop is already accepting pre-orders for the the regular game edition, the bundle one. I'm not too sure about the controller. I haven't tried it yet, but they are not accepting any pre-orders for the adapter. I tried pre-ordering the adapter, but but apparently the system will not accept it. The good thing is that you can put $5 down on the bundled edition, which normally you have to put in like 25 minimum, but they said, you know, $5 down. I'm like, $5 down is $5 down. I ain't complaining. So I would highly recommend that. You know, I hate to see, you know, fellow Smash Bros. Veterans out on a, you know, not able to use a GameCube controller, because to me personally, I started off Smash Brothers back in the N64 days, and it was originally released back in 1999, and me and my friends, we played so much of it. Literally, like, we played the living crap out of this. And it was always just, it was some of the best competitive competition around. And when Melee came out for the GameCube, it was just so much better. They perfected it, basically. The Wii version, the Brawl, it was kind of it was awesome, but mixed, because it wasn't as, the competitive scene treats it as the lesser form. Like, Melee is the perfect form for Smash Brothers, while Brawl is not so perfect. To me, I consider Brawl very fun. I will definitely, if anyone ever challenges me to a Brawl match, I will definitely, you know, take up to the challenge. But if it's Melee, it's like, I'm busting out a GameCube controller, because there's no way in hell, you know, I will accept I will demand it myself for a challenge. But this is going to be pretty cool, because, you know, with the Wii, there was online multiplayer, and now with the Nintendo ID and all that stuff with the Wii U, I'm wondering how the multiplayer components will work, you know, because I remember, I believe, you know, only one player was allowed per, if you wanted to play on an online match. I'm wondering if, you know, you and another friend could take on the other people out there, you know, maybe, you know, 2 versus 2 action. But again, you know, I just cannot wait to see what's in store. I hope there would be in the map editor mode. That's, you know, I would be totally open for that. But again, you know, with the maps, you know, I just hope for just, like, you know, some good decent ones. Obviously, they showed off some of them already. I'm already excited for some of them. Others, not quite much, but overall, still, this is like a very big day for Nintendo fans out there, especially Smash Brother fans. So please, please, for the love of God, I'm already calling it out, that just reserve the bundled edition, you know, just to make it easier on you, because it already comes with the adapter and the controller and the game. Technically, you're not losing out on anything. You're not saving on anything, because the adapter's 20 and the controller's 30. Actually, no, you are saving on something. $10 at least. I almost caught myself there. So yeah, you are saving $10 and then taxes for that. So by itself, it's already it's already a savings right there. All the question is, are you going to jump in? So overall, a really great opportunity for those out there. You know, I cannot wait. I'm actually going to be buying importing actually the Japanese white controller, because it looks badass awesome. I want that to be like my personal controller that only I and I alone can use. Like, if I was dating a girl and she wanted to use my controller, I would have to think about it and ponder, because it is mine. It is like, this is the controller I will use to throw it down in Smash Brothers. But overall, you know, what are your opinions out there? Are you guys excited just as I am for the new Smash Bros. To come out? And are you excited for using the GameCube controller again? Post it down below in the comment box. And do remember to also like and subscribe to my channel. You know, if you know, without these views, subscriptions, or likes, you know, my channel would be nothing. I'm, you know, very grateful for those out there who watches my content. You know, stay tuned for more content out there, including more video games, anime, cosplay, and more here on the Geeky Panda blog. But, you know, it is that time again, so this is Geeky Panda here on the Geeky Panda blog, signing out. So remember, stay geeky, my friends.